I think he's average. What is special? What is spicy about Adam Sandler? Abusive, manipulative, delusional, whatever you want to call it. Most religious people fit all three of those categories. If you're Asian at this point, you're hot. I just want to start this video by saying I look very, very dusty, and I know I say that a lot, but especially in this video, you guys, I look horrendous. There's no excuse. It is what it is, but this is a good video, so therefore I'm still gonna upload it. Just try not to judge me too much, please. Okay. Oh, God. That's what I get for trying to do a cute intro. Hi! Hello, my favorite people. You guys have asked for another...
I hate your hair and makeup today.
Another me reacting to my subscribers' unpopular opinions video. That's a mouthful. So here you go. This is part 2. If you guys remember, on the reaction channel, I asked in the community tab, what unpopular opinions do you guys have? I want to react to them. And I got a smorgasbord of answers. So today we're just going to be going through more of them and reacting to them because you guys seem to like part 1. So yeah, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I am on the road to 10K on this channel. Also check out the reaction channel too if you have not seen that one. We're on the road to 100K over there. And yeah, we're going up, bid. We're going up. Like this video too. Let's get... How many likes can we average on this channel? Let's get 100 likes on this video so I can do a part 3. That lets me know you guys want me to do more. Do I look okay? All that being said, let's get into the video. So the first unpopular opinion that I have is British hoods are harder to live in than American hoods. Prove me wrong. First of all, why is living in poverty a competition? Only a British person and an American person would try to make this a competition. The thing about the relationship between America and Britain, or British people, we don't have the best relationship, honestly. I feel like we have like this toxic one-up-manism between us, and I just don't get it. Does it really matter? Who cares? British hoods, I'm sure, are hard. American hoods are definitely hard from experience, so to say one is worse than the other is just stupid. Next opinion. Someone said Asian men and women are overly fetishized. I completely agree. I even caught myself, honestly, I'm being completely honest. Whenever I first got into K-pop, bitch, I would walk into any 4'3" Asian man and just be like, oh, he is the pinnacle of sexiness. He is a walking god on earth. And it was just because he was Asian. There was not an ounce about him or a single thing, his style, his hair, his voice, anything. There was nothing that really stood out and attracted me to him. It was simply because the guy in front of me was Asian. And I feel like that's just because at the time I was getting so into K-pop, so I was like, okay, if you're Asian at this point, you're hot. But that's not the case at all. I think that's a problem that the general public has as well, fetishizing certain races or things for different traits or stereotypes. Like, oh, you like black girls because they have attitude and big lips and fat asses. You like black guys because they have big penises, which they do.
What? What the fuck?
But that, you see what I'm trying to say. Someone said yoga pants should only be worn for yoga. I disagree with this one because I feel like you should be able to wear whatever you want wherever you go, but at the same time, I completely understand, like, for example, my high school, they didn't allow us to wear leggings, yoga pants, or anything tight-fitting. Those sort of pants basically leave nothing to the imagination. You can see your entire body. So I guess school was not the most appropriate place to be wearing that. If you want to wear that to athletics, go ahead, but walking around the hallways, you weren't allowed to do that. And I completely understand because when it's for the safety of yourself, let's be honest, there are predators around us. I'm not going to specify which sex, which gender it is, but I feel like that rule was put in place to keep you safe, but also just, yeah, I don't know. I was in the store the other day and this girl was wearing spandex as pants. Mind you, it was 40 degrees out and we were all in this customer service line at Best Buy. There's no reason you should be flipping your hair around, wearing spandex in 30-degree weather, and not wearing a mask on top of that. So the girl obviously was an attention seeker, which by all means, if that's you, that's you. But I'm just saying there's a time and place for everything, and not everywhere is where you should be wearing leggings. I hope that makes sense. Okay, this opinion really does have me conflicted though, so y'all let me know your thoughts. Someone said Drake is the most versatile rapper ever. As for ever, like in the entirety of existence of all artists, I don't know. But I think Drake is really one of the greatest artists of our generation. In the last decade, the man has transformed his sound and his style 1,000 times. He's able to do drill, he's able to do Caribbean, he's able to do American rap, aka Canadian rap, whatever you want to call it. His style and his sound just changes based on whatever mood you're in. If you're down or sad, you can find a Drake song to relate to. If you're at the gym, you need a hype song, you can find something about that from Drake. Drake, just his entire discography is hit after hit after hit. And I feel like that's why he's so successful and so big. In my opinion, Drake is just as high up in rank as Lil Wayne at this point. You know, Lil Wayne was the one who brought up Nicki Minaj, Drake, and Tyga and all them. But now at this point, I feel like Drake and Nicki and all the, aside from Tyga, have elevated to be equal, if not higher than Weezy. I stand on that. Someone said Tupac and Biggie are way too overrated. I'm just choosing this comment because we just talked about Drake in the rap game. To say Tupac and Biggie are overrated, I feel like, one, this person probably doesn't have the most understanding of hip-hop or the history of hip-hop. I'm not in a place to judge Tupac or Biggie Smalls. You're not in a place to judge Tupac or Biggie Smalls. Nobody should be speaking on Tupac or Biggie Smalls at all. They pioneered what the artists are doing today. Without Biggie and Tupac, there would be no hip-hop. So to say either one of them are overrated is just ridiculous. Someone said RBW is setting up hwasa. The entire industry is trying to set up hwasa. From these bitches doing mistranslations to her always just falling into controversy without her trying to. Can we talk about the Nigerian outfit? Who the f*** decided to put a head wrap on hwasa? Oh. And then people want to be like, well, if she's not problematic, how come she always finds herself in situations? I don't know! The world's against her! It's not hwasa's fault. I'm going to die saying that. Hwasa is not a bad person. She has really bad luck. And I don't think she has the best PR team. Or they're just ignorant as hell. It's not hwasa's fault, though. Y'all will never catch me out here disrespecting hwasa again. I learned my lesson with that. Trusting you little K-pop people on Twitter was the worst decision because y'all had me thinking hwasa was out here disrespecting my culture, hating Nigeria, saying the N-word freely, when all of that is so false. And the worst is people don't even try to go and find the truth. They're just gonna believe what they hear first and run with it. But yeah, hwasa is not a bad person. Period. Someone said G-Idol and Mamamoo are better than Blackpink. I cannot agree with this because G-Idol and Mamamoo, you could even argue one is better than the other with them. It's all about your perspective and what you're talking about. Are you talking about vocals? Are you talking about rapping? Are you talking about dancing? Are you talking about promotions, marketing? There's so many different factors that go into K-pop and K-pop groups and idols themselves that you can't just say, oh, you're better than you. Overall, you can't even make a decision over that. It has to be looked at individually and with different categories. So to say G-Idol and Mamamoo are better than Blackpink, obviously, I love Mamamoo, but I can't agree with that because I like Blackpink as well. Blackpink is as popular and big as they are, not just because they're under YG, but also because of how relatable and marketable they are. Lisa's a queen. Jenny's poppin'. Rose, Jisoo, they're just as big of a part of this Blackpink as the other two members. So I think G-Idol, Mamamoo, and Blackpink are all super in their own ways, and I don't think we should compare them because that's stupid. Next, someone said anime is good. Yes, anime is good. For me, I really love anime. I think I'm one of those people who just likes the aesthetic of anime, though, to be honest, because I always want to watch One Punch Man. I always want to watch My Hero Academia, but yet I always find myself rewatching Naruto and the Avatar. So how do you get more into anime and stick with it? Because animes are really long too. The storylines are very intricate. Anime is good. It just takes a lot of patience and time. But yes, anime is good. Someone said The Avengers is better than Avengers Endgame. I'm going to be 100% honest. The only superhero movie I've ever seen is Black Panther, and it was because Chadwick Boseman was in it. Is it even Chadwick? I don't know. There was a black man starring in the movie, and it was about Africa. That's the only reason I watched it. I do want to watch more. Actually, do I even want to? I've never been one of those people who are into like superheroes or powers and stuff like that. The only sci-fi stuff that I like is like whenever the world is transforming into a new one, like evolving, it's raining acid or some shit, or like Twilight with vampires and werewolves, stuff like that. But as for the Flash, and that's not my thing. So is Endgame, the Avengers better than the Avengers? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Someone said Lord Melodrama is the greatest pop album of the 2010s. It's up there. I'm not going to say it was the best because I have to look at obviously all the other albums that are there. Melodrama was a very good one. I kind of regret the fact that Lord came up off of Royals, because I feel like compared to her other songs, Royals is so mediocre. Love Club, guys? Come on, Love Club? Pure Heroine is her best work ever. No discredit to Melodrama, but Pure Heroine, Lord's best work. And I'm going to stick by that. I wish freaking Royals was not her come-up song, because she's better than freaking Royals. Someone said some Catholic people are abusive and manipulative, to be honest. Not just Catholic people, people in general, but especially religious people. I'm not going to specify Catholics because the same applies to Christians. I'm sure the same applies to Buddhist people, Islam. Everyone whose religion is based off of be a holy person to reach a next portion in your life, whether that be Valhalla, heaven, or anywhere else. People who have those kind of religions, it's always like, oh, I'm a better person than you, when really they're terrible. So yeah, abusive, manipulative, delusional, whatever you want to call it. Most religious people fit all three of those categories. And don't get me wrong, I'm a religious person, but I don't think me being a Christian makes me any better than the next person. That's just ridiculous and unchristian. See the contradictory in all of it? It's ridiculous. Someone said Adam Sandler movies can be funny, and Click was a heartfelt and underappreciated piece of cinematic genius. Now, I watched Click whenever I was like a kid, and I kept rewatching it. But now that I look back on Adam Sandler's work and that movie, it's just like, are his movies actually comedic? Or do we just find them funny because we know we're supposed to find them funny? Do we find them funny just because it's Adam Sandler? This is an unpopular opinion that I have to disagree with. I think Adam Sandler, mediocre. He's a mediocre actor. At this point, it's kind of like BTS. Are they as good because they're good, or are they good because there's so much hype behind them? And no shade to BTS, I do think they're very talented, but I think their name is exceeding them at this point. But same applies to Adam Sandler. Are his movies actually good? Is he actually a great actor? I think he's average. What is special? What is spicy about Adam Sandler? He reminds me of the whole debate of whether The Office is better than Friends. He makes movies for those kind of people who think that's a debate at all. Next opinion. I'm just getting bold with these, aren't I? Someone said, my unpopular opinion is that I ain't never seen two pretty best friends. Honestly, I don't really like that guy. Why doesn't he blink? What's wrong with his eyes? Is that a filter or are those his actual eyes? I just don't get the whole thing, but he got famous off of it, so good for him. Make your coin. Someone said Jasmine Bean is underrated. Jasmine Bean scares me. I was thinking the other day, because as you guys know on the reaction channel, I did a reaction or a comparison video to her and Melanie Martinez, and I was thinking, how is Jasmine Bean going to propel herself into like the mainstream media, kind of in the same way Melanie has? Because it's been 10 years for Melanie, and I feel like she's just now sort of getting the recollection she deserves. But Jasmine Bean is Melanie Martinez, but on steroids. So I don't know how the general public is going to receive her. I haven't heard a single one of her songs, seen a single one of her music videos. All I've seen is like some of her Instagram stories, and the girl scares me. But I hope that her talent can exceed what people see on the first glance of her. I don't know though. But let me know if you guys want me to react to Jasmine Bean on the reaction channel, or to do my makeup like her for a week or something on this channel. I don't know. Oh God. Somebody said strawberries get more credit than they deserve. Honestly, absolutely. They're overhyped. I always buy like I was in a kick where I like wanted to start eating healthy and like taking care of my body. So obviously I bought strawberries and a bunch of different fruits. Tell me why I can only eat like 2 strawberries at a time and then I'm over it. I don't know if it's just because it's overly sweet, there's a lot of sugar or what, but strawberries are just a lot. They're overwhelming my senses. Strawberries ain't it. Somebody said Filipino indie songs are underrated. I've never heard a single Filipino song. Actually, I take that back. I used to react to the TNT Boys, the lady who sings Akin Ka Na Lang, and all those other people. As for indie songs, I don't go looking for indie music in general, so definitely have not heard a Filipino indie song. So I don't know. Next, just because you provided a good house does not mean it's a good home. This is the unpopular opinion of the day. Just because you provided a good home doesn't... What? Just because you've provided a good house does not mean it's a good home. This is basically meaning the bills can always be paid. Mine were not. You can have the biggest house. My house is kind of big. You see what I'm trying to say though. Just because your home is presentable or has like the standard of a loving home does not mean it's actually going to be a good home. If there's no structure, there's no responsibility, there's no dependability, there's no trust, that all will just lead to your child going or having issues or emotional, mental health issues, regardless of whether your house is the biggest on the block or not. So I 100% agree with this. There are a lot of things, like, I don't mean to get personal, but moving out of the hood to where I live now, whenever I was a kid, you would think that would eliminate so many issues for me. And it did. Environmental issues or social issues. I'm not a prostitute. I'm not pregnant. I'm not selling drugs. Removing myself from that environment took a lot of the being a product of your environment esque things away from me. But there's still things that I'm battling with or had to deal with just because of who my family and the people I was around are. So just because we were out of a bad environment or found ourselves in a better home does not mean it was a good home. I can get more into my PTSD and all that stuff in another video if you guys want. I'm just not really trying to do that right now. So let's move on. Someone said anything cherry flavored is effing gross. Like, how is that most popular flavor? Why is everything always cherry? How do people like it that much? I agree. Cherry is freaking disgusting. It's not even like the disgusting that it tastes like medicine flavor. It's just like disgusting because it's vile. It tastes like sweet poo-poo on your tongue. Cherry is the worst flavor, and if you like cherry, you're a psychopath. Someone said people should learn to differentiate the artist and the fandom. If one member of a fandom is really toxic, it doesn't mean that the whole fandom is too. And also saying I'm unstanding name of artists because that fandom is toxic is just stupid. What did I just read? I need to get back in school. Okay, so basically this person was talking about blaming the artist for the things the fandom are doing. I mean, I feel like that's just dumb. Like, everyone knows, I'm a Barb myself, but everyone knows that Barbs can be toxic and abusive. But I'm not going to blame Nicki Minaj for that. People are saying that James Charles stans are immature and childish, which they are, but I'm not going to blame James Charles for that. James Charles has his own things to work on, aside from his followers. But then again, you could say that you follow who you see in yourself, and if you're toxic, then therefore that person is probably toxic. So I do think there's some sort of correlation between it all, but you can't blame one person for the actions of an entire mass of people. And the last unpopular opinion is a really good one. Someone said, or Tessa said, okay, so this is half stolen, but Glued by Melanie Martinez is severely underrated. I have severe abandonment issues due to the fact that I have had so many friends I have gotten attached to drop me as a friend. I have had countless days where I thought I wasn't good enough because of the fact that I could never keep a friendship. Hearing this song, I just broke down because detachment is my biggest nightmare. Whenever I reacted to After School, I said that Glued was one of my favorite songs too. What the heck? Whenever I reacted to After School, I said that Glued was one of my favorite songs as well. I didn't know at the time it was about detachment and all that stuff, but just something about the song really spoke to me. It was very emotional and very pulling at my heart. Glued basically put into words what I was feeling, how I feel all the time, and I'm glad to hear that it resonates the same for some of you. It's also the way that the melody is, the way she sings on it, it's very just expressive and emotional. So even if you haven't, like, if you can't relate to the song the most, you still do feel some sort of attachment to it, which is weird because the song is about detachment. Wow.
Hi, and I didn't talk about this during the reaction itself, but I do want to mention that if you lose people in your life, whether willingly or unwillingly, always think about it as a stepping stone. Not everyone you encounter is meant to be there for forever. I don't remember what saying it was, but I heard a saying where basically everything in our life is for a lesson, a season, whatever. Basically, life is just a process to where you can keep growing. And obviously, you can't grow without experiences, without people, without relationships and all that stuff. So, and I wouldn't say, don't put it all on yourself for your friends, Tessa, for leaving you or detachment or whatever. That's on them. And also, you have to remember, you are a gem. If they left you, they're missing out themselves. You are very important. You deserve the world. So if they weren't able to give that to you, they saw you as like this great thing that they couldn't live up to. So it's not about you, Tessa, it's about them. Kisses to you. For example, I'm not really friends with any of the people I used to be in high school. That's because, one, I don't know why I was friends with most of them in high school. It didn't make any sense when I think about it. But also, there are some who just like ghosted me, which is, I'm not going to say it's okay, but it is okay at the same time, because obviously that friendship wasn't meant to last. Because if you're able to do that to someone, if you're able to do that to your friend, were you ever really my friend, in this example, were you ever really my friend to begin with? If you're able to just leave, that's not my problem, that's on you. So I wouldn't say, don't think too deep into it. If people leave, if your relationships fall apart, it is what it is. You gotta keep going. Your life doesn't stop, bud. Keep going. Some may say that's just you becoming detached, but really, I think that's just you becoming stronger. But what I know, I don't know nothing.
But yes, Glued is a very powerful song, and like I said before when I reacted to it, it's one of the best songs from the EP. That's it for me, guys. I hope you liked this video. Make sure you drop a like on it. Comment down below your other unpopular opinions. Follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you watch all the videos on this channel, because I want this channel to grow, so I need you guys' help. Watch all the videos, like all the videos, and subscribe. Bye! I am glued to the thoughts of my mind.